Hey everyone, okay, we're going to have some fun today creating some decorative Easter eggs. It's spring. I'm excited to do this little project because I just want everybody to know that when you go to the stores and you see all these cute little crafts, that it doesn't always have to be for kids. I do have kids, so I do this kind of stuff with my kids. But, as an adult and as an artist, you can take advantage of the stuff coming out and do some really nice decorative pieces for your home. So today I'm going to show you how you can create some beautiful Easter eggs for the season that you can use year after years as part of the decoration. And of course, you guys, if you follow my art, you know how much I love mandalas. So we are going to paint and draw mandalas on these Easter eggs. We're going to transform these little kitty eggs. Look, $1.98 for a pack. Grab some glue, craft glue from your local craft store. This is a very inexpensive project. So the other thing I'm going to use is these are some amazing white gel pens. I use them in my art. They're the Uniball Signal white gel pen. I have a link over on my website if you'd like to purchase some. I get them off Amazon. So I don't sell them. I just have a link. I do some research. I like to get the best prices. So I've got a link over there. Visit me, www.yvettesaintamant.com, and just go to the art supplies tab and you'll see a link right to it. I also have this painter's pen. This is navy blue. Of course, the colors I'm using today are navy blue and white. And you can use any color that you want, but I really like the contrast of a dark on white, and you can use just kind of getting away from the pastel-ies of Easter. I'm showing you how to kick it up a notch so you get some great decor. So I'm just going to remove this. This comes with some dye, and I am just going to toss this dye. I don't even use it with my kids here, so I'm just going to toss that out. And it's just a reminder here how you've got a blank canvas and you can use any kind of craft paint that you can get your hands on. Now I have several that I use, and I use a variety of waxes and stuff, but today I'm just using simple materials that I know that you guys can get access to. So let me just open this up. I need my scissors to get at it. And now, if you did want to do something like this for the children, you can definitely just get some craft paint and have them go at it with the eggs. If you want a little bit of help, you can even just have them paint the eggs for you, because you do have to get them prepared. I am just going to get a little paper towel here because I finally cleaned up my workspace and I want to keep this white. I do have a couple of videos that I need to record here, so I'm trying to keep it clean. I don't know if it'll happen. You know me, I'm an artist and I always make a mess. So I'm just going to put a little bit of paint into a dish or a pan, whatever you've got. Sometimes I use paper plates. And get yourself a brush, and you're just going to start painting the eggs. And you're going to paint the entire surface of the egg. Now this paint, it does dry pretty quickly. So do a nice little layer there. And the color that I'm using, I probably forgot to tell you, is Real Navy. And it's just the Apple Barrel brand. And as you can see, as I'm putting it on, it is looking like denim, which is a really nice look if you want that type of look in your home. a better quality paint, you will get a better coverage, but I'm okay with this, especially for this kind of project. And a lot of the times I like this denim kind of look. Today I'm going to do a couple layers though, because I want a really deep blue. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a moment. Once it's dry, we're going to do another coat. Okay, so I'm working on my second coat. What I like to do on my second coat is just do a line from the tip to the base. And then that way you get nice even lines and you're not seeing the individual brush strokes of doing something like this. So you kind of want a nice, even, smooth surface. And you'll see just by adding that second coat, you've got a nice, deep blue color. So we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to come back and add all the nice details. Okay, so our egg has dried, and I moved the camera a little closer so that you guys could see. Now we're going to get our white Uniball gel pen, and just make sure the tip's not dry. And we are going to start doing mandalas. Now, don't be afraid. It is, this pen draws so nicely on any surface. You just start off with a little circle, and then you can start doing designs around that circle. And I always find the easiest thing to do when you're starting off mandalas is just work in circles. So once you've done one circle, just draw another circle and build on that. And you can do larger petal shapes. And we're just free-forming mandalas. The larger your mandala gets and the more detail, the more you will disguise all those little imperfections. I'm just going to color in this little area. And now you can go and do another circle if you want and start building that. So I'm just going to do that for this one so that you guys can start off easy. I do have a couple tutorials on here showing you how to draw mandalas if you want to get more into it. So I've got my second layer, and you can just keep building this pattern if you like. So, and just go a little bit bigger. I always find this the easiest one to start with. And then at this point, just to make it a little different, just double up your lines. Just so you guys know, I am doing this upside down so that you can see. It's a little difficult. Okay, and once you've got these little lines, and you can start doing things like add texture between the double lines. And like I mentioned before, the more detail you get into these guys, the more all those little imperfections get disguised. And what I like about these pens is it's just so much easier to control a pen than trying to control a paintbrush doing details like this. So a little secret, when I do my mandalas, I use pens. I'll paint bases underneath but then I use my pens on top. And then I'm just going in. I'm going to add some dots. Into the last kind of petal shapes that we did. Look how pretty that's looking. And then if you want to just kind of finish this off, because you could go on and on and on, you could do the whole egg if you want, is I like to just in between just add little swirls. Now the reason why I'm doing the navy blue with the white is because I have kind of like a coastal vibe going in my home. It's a little bit eclectic too. I have lots of like natural fabrics, but blues and whites and beiges. So I just really like this as part of my details because I have a lot of natural rattan and, you know, those balls and like earthy kind of seeds and that kind of stuff in my vases. So I'm just going to add these as a little kind of contrast to that to pop up the decor in my home for Easter. So that's one side, and then you're going to want to go and do the other side, and I'll do that in a moment on my own time. But what I want to show you now is how you can take a plain white one and just to get contrast to do a blue mandala on a white egg, and then you've got a couple different kinds. I'm going to get my painter's pen, and I've got navy blue here, and I will create a blue mandala on white. This time I'm going to start with a dot, and this pen is pretty fat, so I'm going to do a larger one, and I'm going to start with some petals. Pretty, huh? And then I'm going to do petals in between just to build up this mandala. There's so many different ways that you can create mandalas, and all it is just building up design within a circle. And then I'm going to add some leaves in between. Put dots. I can't get as much detail with this pen because it's so large. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add more dots instead of lines to build it up. See what I can put into this one. I'll do my best. There's some other oil pens that I really like to use, but I had a really hard time finding a navy blue, and I'll show you those in a minute. They're wonderful as well, and they come in a number of different colors, but it's very limited. So here's another one, and I'm just going to add some little dots coming out from the leaves. Be careful just not to touch the paint because it takes a bit to dry. And then I will bring a couple swirls coming out this way into the center. Okay, so that one's done, and you'll do the same thing on the other side. But look how beautiful that is. That's going to make for gorgeous decor. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish the backs of these, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's all finished. And definitely you can play around with the colors that you prefer in your home, and I hope you really enjoyed this little tutorial.